Locked in, a phrase that everyone is using right now, intensely chasing their biggest goals. But when are we ever truly locked in? When are we solely focused on one goal with no distractions? Because when it comes to it, the pressure starts to mount and it's getting too late to back out. How many people do you see crack under the pressure and never fully achieve what they set out to achieve?
This is why I'm making sure this doesn't happen. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. Because today would be an easy day for me to not remain locked in. And that's because today we're heading out towards Exeter to go to a expo for hobbies and crafts and things like that for my girlfriend. As I'm in prep, it's, I'm always secluded to myself, my own tunnel vision. So doing things with her and enjoying our time together is really, really important. And also just something to do. It's going to be fun. But there's going to be temptations there. There's going to be things in the way that potentially are going to sway me from my nutrition, food stalls, that sort of stuff that are going to be there to feed people. So I'm starting the day off with high protein omelette, egg white omelette, some cheese and some spinach to make sure that I'm staying locked in with my nutrition before I've even started the day. Also taking some chicken, barbecue chicken with me to ensure that I have something there that's going to support my goals whilst I'm enjoying time with my girlfriend and walking around and finding out about some new hobbies. I'll take you along for the ride. This is where it starts. You're out of your normal routine, unprepared, and temptations are around you, and it's really, really easy to slip up. For example, I just walked past a sweet store. I offer in old-fashioned sweets in jars, which I absolutely love, especially the licorice, all sorts, like the raspberry ones. They're insane, absolutely insane, and a really big weakness of mine. And he was offering out free honeycomb taste this, and I was like, no thanks, because I'm 11 weeks out from my first bodybuilding show. Crunch time, squeaky bun time. I need to make sure I'm on point and bringing my best physique to stage that I can. So I'm not disappointed. And this is where most lads go wrong when they're out of their normal routine. You're always planned, you're always locked in when you're in your normal routine. But then as soon as you come out of it, all hell breaks loose. Temptations, whether that's on a night out, temptations when you're out and about with the missus. You've got to stay focused and you've got to stay locked in on this sort of stuff. And this is why I brought my own food with me. So rather than going to the cafeteria and buying a baguette, chips and things like that, which I normally would go for, because I'm dieting, I'm in this crunch time, I bought my barbecue chicken, which I would normally have for dinner. And I went to Co-op and bought salad as well, just so I can stay on track with my nutrition, keeping my carbs nice and low, protein nice and high, and then keeping my carbs back for later when I'm ready to hit legs and have it pre and post workout. That's the craft fair done. Missed the bloody product toss at the end. No, I'm joking, there wasn't. But how crazy it would be if there was actually a product toss at that sort of thing. Seeing some old fogies waiting by a product booth to collect thread and fucking sewing machines and scissors being thrown off the top of it just for a freebie. Be nuts. Really weird experience. Obviously unsafe, but it would take a lot of precision to be able to throw that sort of stuff. Similar to the precision that I need to remain locked in on my goal of looking absolutely savage on stage in 11 weeks time. Precision in terms of every meal being mapped out, every meal being prepped, every training session being planned in. If I hadn't had planned this current training session in after the craft fair, I probably wouldn't go. I'm not really feeling it today. Like I'm training later than I normally would. I've also got to do cardio after legs, which is not ideal. And because it's planned in, it gets done and I remain locked in and focused on my goal because I've only got to hold myself accountable to that. Also, if I don't, I let my coach down and I let all the friends and family that have supported me through this process down as well. So look at the bigger picture as well. When you're getting locked in on a goal, don't just say you're locked in because that doesn't mean anything. Locked in is not motivation. Locked in isn't discipline, it's action. And those actions is what's going to keep you going and actually get you to achieving whatever goal it is you're looking to achieve, whether that is to build more muscle, whether that is to have a shredded physique for the summer. Repeat those actions, hold yourself accountable by planning them in with precision, with accuracy, and that's how you're going to stay locked in. Time to go train some legs and then do some absolutely savagery cardio after doing leg day. I must be an absolute G doing that, honestly, because who plans cardio after legs? Clearly me. So I've got to do 40 minutes on the bike after doing hack squat, leg press and leg extension. Wish me luck. First movement of the session, the metrics leg extension. Now, if you're currently using this in your plan, one thing I'd really recommend you using is a daisy chain to tie up the trailing arm. If you find that the trailing arm rolls up and down your shin and you get a bit pissed off with it, doing this is just going to mean it's going to decrease the moment arm to your knee, meaning you're going to get a little bit more extra drop off at the top. This machine naturally drops off anyway, but you're going to get a little bit more drop off at the top, which means you're going to have to lift a little bit more weight. It'll feel way more comfortable for you without having to roll up and down your shin. Other things you can do as well is add a seat belt, add a bit more stability, pull yourself down into the seat, because as soon as you extend your legs forward, your bum is going to want to come off that seat. So using things like wrist wraps and a seat belt such as a resistance band or a cheap seat belt of Amazon is going to create more stability in that movement, meaning you're going to be able to put more force through your quads and get way more out of your quadriceps because of it. Now, I've only got 2 sets on this today, and I'm aiming for 12 reps on both sets. I got 12 reps last week, so I wanted to make sure I get another week of 2 sets of 12 before I can move up in weight. I'm obviously in a deficit, so it's mainly about holding reps, but if I've got rep progression there, I'm gonna freaking take it. If I get to 12 in this one, and I feel like I've got more in the tank, I'm gonna push it to make sure that I am training as close to failure and retaining as much muscle as possible. Having to move over to a voiceover for the rest of the session as it got pretty busy, but I did manage to get my 12 reps, which is pretty sick. Now, moving into my second exercise of the session, the hack squats. Now, something you're going to find as you get leaner in a diet is that you might have to adjust your technique as you're getting leaner. So where you'd normally go wide stance, you might have to go narrow or narrow to wide. For me at the moment, I'm having to take a little bit more of a narrower stance and also adjust the base pad of the hack squat. Whereas normally I'd have it a notch 2 because I normally have a injured side. My left side, I get a lot more less range out my ankles on my left, but for some reason, I'm actually managed to get more range now. So I'm actually putting the footbed lower to the lowest notch, number 1, and it's allowed me to get more range and more quad activation out of it as well. So just put this into consideration when you're getting leaner. You might have to adjust things. And then lastly, moving into the leg press, 2 sets of 15 reps, high and wide stance. I always struggle with getting maximal knee flexion on both the leg presses in Pure Gym, so I'm having to go wide, mainly because I want to get a bit more adductor volume, as I only hit it 5 sets across the week, so it's a little bit of extra volume there, which is going to enable me to have wider legs when it comes to coming on stage in 11 weeks' time. And that was a tough session. Probably my own fault for going to the gym at this time in the evening, 7 to 9 o'clock in the evening. Not my best, finest work, but we got it done. And I did have to battle through my own demons a little bit because I really did not want to do that session, plus the cardio at the end. But we got it done. We locked in, we got it done, and we showed up. And that's the thing I want to leave this vlog on, is locking in is not motivation. Locking in isn't discipline. It's showing up when you do not want to do anything, showing up, getting it done, and repeating the same actions over and over and over again and being structured with it. This has been episode 7 of the journey, my journey to stepping on the bodybuilding stage for the very first time. If you want to follow along, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and wait for the next video.